Good morning, everyone. This is a syllabus review for the Social Welfare and Policy 1 class. If that is not the class you believe you should be in, then you should definitely reach out to someone at school. But the objectives of this course this semester are to describe and analyze the historical foundations of the contemporary U.S. welfare state, as well as be able to describe the concept of social problems and analyze the changing definition of social problems. Describe and critically analyze social welfare policies from an evidence-based and value-based perspective. Describe and analyze the role of various levels of government, the market, and voluntary sectors. Describe and analyze the development and function of the main sectors of social welfare, such as health, income maintenance, housing, employment, etc. Analyze the impact of social welfare policies on varying and intersectional forms of social inequalities. Those like race, class, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, disability, etc. Describe and analyze historical and contemporary advocacy efforts, social movements, things like that. So those are some of the things we're going to be learning about this semester. Our goals are to demonstrate ethical and professional behavior, engage in diversity and difference in practice, and engage, assess, and intervene with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. So that being said, this is an accredited course through the Council on Social Work Education. You can review these standards and practices on your own time. I'm not going to sit here and read them. This is the required text. If anybody has any questions, please reach out to the bookstore. You should have been. I got my book online through this link here. So that's one way, or you can follow the instructions below as well. How do you contact me? This is the email that I'm available through Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. I'm checking that email. That is my full-time job email. I also have a cell phone number that you can text me on or call me if you need to. The area code is 856-524-6773. I did not put that on the syllabus because that's my way of seeing who watches the syllabus review video. So here are some course requirements to go over. Just, typical etiquette, guys. Being kind, being respectful to one another in your posts, things like that. My understanding is this is no one's first online class in that is in this class this semester, so you're all aware of the online policies. There's the grading scale for anyone who has questions about that, and we'll get right into the assignments that are due. So there is a midterm and a final exam in this course. The midterm is module 8 or week 8. The final is week 15. The midterm is 25% of your grade, and the final is 30% of your grade. The next 15% of your grade is 3 written assignments. One is a policy analysis assignment in week 3. Then there's Marie and her son's assignment in week 7, and an income equality assignment in week 11. The last part of your grade is the threaded discussion. So it starts this week with your introductions and responding respectively to introductions as per the instructions below that we'll get into. So, and those responses count as 20% of your grade. As you can see here, students are expected to post the threaded discussion board twice during the course of the week. The first thread is due by Thursday. The response is due by Sunday. My suggestion is if you're in there posting your post, then you should just go ahead and do your comment too and get it over with. They have to be of substance. They cannot just simply state, I agree with Janie or I concur. We need a substantial response, please. Otherwise, I will cut points for each. It's a point for your post and a point for your response. I will be cutting points if it's not a substantial post. As far as timeliness, guys, if there's an issue and you're not getting your assignments in on time, you need to be reaching out to me and talking to me about what the issue is. Otherwise, points are deducted for lateness. Here is your last 10% of your grade is Policy New York Times journals. and you should be keeping a policy journal assignment, a policy book with your journal assignments, and they're sporadically spread out throughout the course. I will be interacting in the course. I will be posting my comments and responses. This is just like any other class. Please note that I will read through the post and play an active role. That if I respond to a post in a manner that is constructively critical or corrective, it doesn't mean that you've done something wrong, but rather that this is a part of the critical decision and academic dialogue. Just like if we were in a regular class and I would, critique what you're saying or grade your papers and give you feedback. It's the same thing. In order to receive full credit for this New York Times Journal's assignment, here's the qualifications, if you will. Select the relevant articles, describe in 2 to 3 sentences, and then also describe how the article relates to the course content that we're learning, and post your journals on time. They're due here on Mondays, as you can see right there. Through the journals tab, right there. Sorry, right there. They should be well written. They should be written with all of these in mind. Excuse me. Here's how you can access the New York Times journals. I suggest everyone does this, backing up your work, because more times than not, I have issues every semester with students who submit the wrong form or submit a blank form instead of the actual assignment. So it's always good to back up your work, guys. So this is the beginning here of the modules or the weeks. So for week 1, by the end of modules 1 and 2, this is what you should be able to do. Here's your readings, and then we go into week 2. You can see here the goals for this, the assignment. Here's your assignment for week 1, was to watch the assigned videos, and then the assignment, complete the online quiz, are you liberal or conservative, here. Week 3, here's your assignment, your policy analysis assignment is due, like I mentioned before. And then in week 4, who deserves government assistance is the article that we're going to be reading. The assignment, policy analysis assignment, due on day 7 of module 4. So I guess technically you have 2 weeks to complete that. So day 7 of module 4 is when the policy analysis assignment should be submitted into Canvas. And then, as you can see, if you continue to go through on week 5, and then week 6, just keep in mind here's your assignment in week 7. This is your then your midterm is due here in week 8. Depression and the New Deal is week 9. Week 10, from World War II to the 70s. That's my favorite week, by the way. I love that time. I feel like that's when we've had the most social policy growth in our country. And then we have week 11, 70s and the 80s. And then week 12, current social policy. I feel like currently there's a lot of social policy. If you watch the news any given day, there is social policy on immigration coming out. I believe today there was a new restriction on Title X funds for Planned Parenthood. So there's always some sort of policy in the news. So those policy journals that you'll be working on through the New York Times should be pretty interesting and pretty relevant to today's time. Week 13, did I do week 12? I forget. Let's see. An overview, current social policy. Week 13, an overview of current social policy and social welfare. And then week 14, the final discussion and wrap up. And your final exam is due by week 15. So day 7 of week 15. If you have any questions on the syllabus, guys, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I know I kind of did a high overview of it, but if you have questions, just reach out to me. All right, thank you, and we're off to a great semester.